theorem. In this first one, if Sn is an unbounded increasing sequence, then limit of Sn is equal to plus infinity. Second one, if Sn is an unbounded decreasing sequence, then limit of Sn is equal to minus infinity. Proof. First one, if the sequence is unbounded and increasing sequence, let Sn be an unbounded increasing sequence. We have to prove that limit of the sequence is plus infinity. So let us take any capital M greater than 0 and S is the set all those elements of a sequence such that n belongs to set of all natural number. What is the given in the statement? Since Sn is an increasing sequence, since Sn is an increasing sequence, then we can say that S1 is less than or equal to S2 is less than or equal to so on, less than or equal to Sn less than or equal to so on. This implies all the terms of a sequence are greater than or equal to the first term. This implies S1 is less than or equal to Sn for all n. For all n. Now, means all the terms of a sequence are greater than or equal to S1. Therefore, S1 is an lower bound. Therefore, the given sequence is bounded below. That is, the set S is bounded below by S1. All the terms are greater than or equal to S1. But in the statement clearly given that the sequence Sn is unbounded, means the set S is unbounded. Unbounded. Here we got the set S is bounded below, and here the given it is unbounded. A definition says that a set is unbounded if it is either a bounded below, not bounded below, or not bounded above. Since it is bounded below and it is unbounded, there is only one option, then S is unbounded above. Unbounded above. When I am saying it S is not unbounded above, means hence for some n in set of all natural number, for some n in set of all natural number, we have the term is greater than capital M. Equation number 1. If I take any capital M, since it is unbounded above, after capital M there should be an element of a set. If all the elements are less than or equal to M, then it will be an bounded above. Since it is an unbounded above, not all the elements are less than or equal to a real number. If I take any real number, after that real number there exists a term in the sequence. Therefore, for some n in natural number, we have Sn is greater than capital M. Now, since in the statement clearly given that the sequence is increasing, since Sn is an increasing sequence, then for n greater than capital N implies Sn is greater than S capital N. From the definition of increasing sequence I wrote, whenever n is greater than capital N, its term will be greater than or equal to Sn from the definition of increasing sequence. Therefore, for small n greater than capital N implies Sn is greater than or equal to S capital N from equation number 2. From equation number 1 we got this one is greater than capital M by 2 and 1. Therefore, small n greater than capital N implies Sn is strictly greater than capital N. This is nothing but the condition of diverges to infinity. Therefore, limit of Sn is equal to plus infinity. This one we have to prove in the first one. Now, second one. Let Sn be an unbounded decreasing sequence. Let Sn be an unbounded decreasing sequence. Since we have to prove limit of Sn is equal to minus infinity, so let capital M is any real number which is less than 0. Since Sn is decreasing sequence, then S1 is greater than or equal to S2 is greater than or equal to so on, greater than or equal to Sn, greater than or equal to so on. This implies I can say that all the terms of a sequence are less than or equal to the first term. This implies S1 is greater than or equal to Sn for all n. For all n. This implies that the sequence, all the terms are less than or equal to this one, means this one behaves like an upper bound. Therefore, it is an bounded above. That is, the set S is bounded above by S1. But in the statement clearly given that the set S is unbounded. When we can say that the set is unbounded, either it should be not bounded above or not bounded below. Since it is bounded above, there is only one option, the set S is unbounded below. When we can say that the set is unbounded below, means there exists no lower bound. If I take any m, at least one element in this sequence which is less than m. If all the elements are greater than or equal to m, then m behaves like a lower bound, then it should be an bounded below. Since it is an unbounded below, hence for some n in set of all natural numbers, we have that term is less than capital M. Let us take this one as equation number 1. Since the sequence Sn is an decreasing sequence, then for small n greater than capital N implies, I am writing from the definition of decreasing sequence. For small n greater than capital N implies we have small n is less than or equal to S capital N. Means the previous term will be greater than or equal to the next term. Equation number 2. Therefore, for small n greater than capital N implies we have Sn is less than or equal to S capital N and Sn is less than capital N by 2 and 1. Therefore, small n greater than capital N implies Sn is less than capital M. This is nothing but the definition of diverges to infinity. Therefore, limit Sn is equal to minus infinity. This one only we have to prove. Now, the next corollary. If Sn is a monotone sequence, then the sequence either converges, diverges to plus infinity, or diverges to minus infinity. That is, thus limit of Sn is always meaningful for monotone sequences. And the proof. What is the statement says? If Sn is a monotone sequence. If Sn is a monotone sequence. Now here I don't know whether the sequence is bounded or unbounded. If it is bounded, in the last lecture, the last theorem we have proved, every bounded monotone sequence converges. If it is a bounded monotone, it will converge. If it is unbounded monotone, now again two cases arises. Since it is unbounded, monotone means either increasing or decreasing. If it is unbounded and increasing, then it diverges to plus infinity. Just now we have proved. If it is unbounded and decreasing, then it diverges to minus infinity. So copy the proof of above two theorems. What are the two theorems? Yesterday's last theorem and today's above theorem. This one. If a sequence Sn is bounded, therefore bounded monotone converges. If it is unbounded and monotone, in monotone if it is increasing, then it diverges to plus infinity. If it is decreasing, diverges to minus infinity. Therefore, in any case, if a sequence is monotone, either we will get the limit is fixed to a real number or plus infinity or minus infinity. Therefore, the limit of Sn is always a meaningful for a monotone sequences. Definition. Let Sn be a sequence in set of all real numbers. Let Sn be a sequence in set of all real numbers. We define limit superior of Sn. Limit superior of Sn is equal to limit capital N tends to infinity supremum of the set Sn where n is greater than capital N, and limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit capital N tends to infinity infimum of the set Sn where n is greater than capital N. This one is said to be a limit superior and this one is said to be a limit inferior. The definition says that let Sn be any sequence. Let Sn be any sequence. Just for explanation I am saying here, let Sn be any sequence. So Sn be, don't write this one, just for explaining, you let Sn be any sequence. Then what are the terms of a sequence? S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, so on. Now all those terms I am writing in a set. All those terms I am writing in a set. S1, S2, S3. If in a set the terms will be never repeated. In the sequence may the terms repeat, but in the set the terms will never repeat. Now what I am going to do, first I am writing a set all those terms such that n greater than 1. What are the terms here? What are the n greater than 1? Means S2, S3, so on. S2, S3, so on. Now Sn such that n greater than 2 means you will get from this one. S3, S4, so on. Similarly, next one, Sn such that n greater than 3. S4, S5, so on. Similarly, you can proceed for all. Now, this is a set you have got here. Sn such that n greater than 1, n greater than 2, n greater than 3. Now, I am taking supremum of this set. Supremum of this set. Supremum, so on. Whatever the supremum is there for this set means all the elements of this set is less than or equal to that element, and that element is the least among all the upper bounds. That one, whatever the answer it may be. Now when it comes, whatever the answer I am going to get here, the next one, I am taking the supremum of this one. I am removed the first element, I am going to take the supremum. Now when I am taking supremum of this set, which is compared to the previous one, the first element is not there. Who knows that the first element is bigger among all the elements? Then the first element can become a supremum for the first one. If I remove that one, then whatever the supremum I am going to get, that will be either less than this one or equal to, but we won't get this supremum value is greater than this one because I removed the one element. So whatever the answer I am going to get here, this answer will be less than or equal to the previous one because this element contain one element less than this one. I don't know the supremum of this one, and I am going to take supremum of this one. Just I am comparing this one. This has only one extra element, that is S2. If S2 is the supremum of the first set, if I won't take this one, whatever the supremum will be there, that will be less than or equal to the previous one. Similarly, whatever the supremum here I am going to get, that will be less than or equal to this one because it is just comparing with the previous one, there is only one less term. So all this supremum of the first set, second set, third set, fourth set, fifth set, so on. Now I am finding the limit of this one. That limit is said to be a limit superior. From this explanation, we have learned that for each and every capital N, I am finding the supremum of the sets 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am going to take limit of this one. That will be a limit superior of Sn. When I am finding the supremum of the sets by removing one element, the supremum element is going to decrease. Similarly, we can go for the infimum. Instead of supremum, if I find infimum, here infimum, so on. Whatever the infimum I got here, when I will compare, in the term of supremum I got this one is greater than or equal to this one is greater than or equal to this one, so on. But when it comes for the infimum, this one is less than or equal to this one is less than or equal to this one, so on. The limit of all those infimum of a sets is said to be a limit inferior, is said to be a limit inferior. This is the concept of limit inferior and limit superior. Limit superior. Now a note. First one, if the sequence Sn is not bounded above, if the sequence is not bounded above, when we can say that a sequence is not bounded above, if it is not has an upper bound. If it is not has an upper bound, if there is no upper bound, then there will be no least upper bound. If there will be upper bound, then I can say it has a least upper bound. If there is no upper bound, then there is no least upper bound. Then its least upper bound, that is supremum of the set Sn such that n greater than capital N is plus infinity for all n. If you take n is equal to 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be. Now I am going to take limit on both sides. This implies limit of this one, that is limit superior of Sn is equal to limit of plus infinity is plus infinity. Means if a sequence is not bounded above, then its limit superior is plus infinity. Second one, if the sequence Sn is not bounded below, when we can say that the sequence is not bounded below, if it is not has an lower bound. If there is no lower bound, then there will be no greatest lower bound. Then infimum of the set Sn such that n greater than capital N does not exist, means it will be an minus infinity for all capital N. Now I am going to take limits on both sides. We will get limit infimum of a set is nothing but limit inferior of Sn is equal to minus infinity. Both the note says that if the sequence is not bounded above, if it is unbounded above, therefore the limit superior is plus infinity. If the sequence is not bounded below, then the limit inferior is minus infinity. Third one, limit superior of Sn is always less than or equal to supremum of the set Sn where n belong to set of all natural number. Similarly, fourth one, infimum of a set Sn such that n belong to set of all natural number is less than or equal to limit inferior of Sn. Just now we have discussed this one. In terms of supremum of a set, this will be greater than or equal to this one, this will be greater than or equal to this one, this will be greater than or equal to the next term. Therefore it is going to decrease. When it is decreasing, I am finding the limit of this one, that is nothing but the limit superior. Therefore when it is decreasing, the limit will be the smaller than all other sets. That one only here I wrote. Limit superior is less than or equal to supremum of all the sets. Similarly, infimum, when I am finding the infimum of a set, this will be less than or equal to this one, this will be less than or equal to this one, so on. Therefore it is an increasing. I am finding the limit. If that limit is said to be a limit inferior, that inferior is greater than or equal to all the terms. These are the note points. Now next, a theorem. Let Sn be a sequence in R. Let Sn be a sequence in R. In this first one, if limit of Sn is defined, when I am saying limit of Sn is defined, maybe it will be a fixed real number, or maybe it is going to give an answer plus infinity, or it is going to give an minus infinity. We have three options. Defined means as a real number, fixed real number, or it may be plus infinity, or it may be minus infinity. Then only I can say that the limit of Sn is defined. Then limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit of Sn is equal to limit superior of Sn. Means this statement says that let Sn be a sequence in R. Whatever the limit of Sn, either a real number or a plus infinity or minus infinity, whatever it may be, then limit inferior and limit superior both should be equal to that only. If a limit of Sn is yes, then limit inferior and limit superior both are yes. If it is plus infinity, both are plus infinity. If it is minus infinity, both are minus infinity. Now the second one in this theorem. Second one, if limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit superior of Sn, then limit Sn is defined and limit Sn is equal to limit inferior of Sn, which is equal to limit superior of Sn. There is just a slightly a difference between the first part and the second part. First part says that whatever the limit of Sn is there, that will be limit inferior and limit superior. Anyone, either real number or plus infinity or minus infinity, out of these three, if limit Sn is anyone, then limit inferior and limit superior both are equal to that one. Using this, I can say limit inferior and limit superior. But in the second part, second one of the theorem says that if limit inferior and limit superior are both are equal means either both are equal to a real number, or both are equal to plus infinity, or both are equal to minus infinity. If these both are equal, using this I can say that limit of Sn, and whatever the answer here we got equal value, that will be a limit Sn. In the previous one, using this one I said the value of this one. Now in the second one, using this one I am saying the value of this one. The proof: let un, u capital N I am going to take as infimum of a set Sn where n greater than capital N. Vn is equal to supremum of a set Sn where n greater than capital N. And let u is equal to limit of un. That is limit of what is un we have considered? Infimum of a set Sn where n greater than capital N. From the definition, limit infimum of a set is nothing but limit inferior of Sn. Limit inferior of Sn. Now what about v? V is equal to limit of Vn. That is limit of what is Vn? Limit of supremum of a set Sn where n greater than capital N. From the definition, this is nothing but limit superior of Sn. So here I can say this is u and this is v. So let us take this one as equation number 1, this one as 2, this one as 3, and this one as 4. Now first one. In the first one, we have to consider limit of Sn is equal to any one of these three, and we have to prove all these three are equal. So three cases. Limit of Sn is a real number, limit of Sn is plus infinity, limit of Sn is minus infinity. In this case 1, suppose limit of Sn is equal to plus infinity. Limit of Sn is equal to plus infinity. Now this implies what I can say from the definition of limit of Sn is equal to plus infinity, that is diverges to infinity, that is for each capital M greater than 0 there exists a capital N such that small n greater than capital N implies Sn is greater than capital M. Sn is greater than capital N. This implies what we got? For all those small n which are greater than capital N, all those terms are greater than capital N. If I take any small n which are greater than capital N, those term is greater than capital M. Means all those Sn are greater than capital M. If I take infimum of all those Sn, then infimum of all those Sn where n greater than capital N, then that will be a greater than or equal to capital M. Why? After capital N, if I take any term, that term is greater than capital M. Means capital M is behaving like an lower bound for all those terms which are greater than capital N. For all those terms which are greater than. This is the lower bound. And what is the infimum of this one? Infimum is nothing but greatest to lower bound. Between greatest lower bound and lower bound, greatest lower bound is greater than that one. Then only we can say this one. Therefore, this will be greater than or equal to this one. This will be greater than or equal to this one. This implies from the equation number 1, what is this one? Infimum of this one is Un. Un is greater than or equal to capital M. Greater than or equal to capital M by equation number 1. By equation number 1. This implies, therefore, if Un is greater than or equal to capital M, if I take any term which is greater than capital N, what you will get? Um is greater than or equal to capital M. Un is greater than or equal to capital M. Why? While learning the definition of limit inferior, when we have took the infimum of a set, we got that this one are going to increase, this one is going to increase, therefore it is an increasing sequence. This one is an increasing sequence. Therefore Un for all n, this will be an increasing sequence. If I take any term with greater than this one, then this term will be greater than Un, because Un is an increasing sequence. Therefore Um is greater than Un, and Un is greater than or equal to M. Therefore Um is greater than M. This one I can write here, since the sequence Un is increasing, then M greater than capital N implies Um is greater than or equal to Un, and Un is greater than or equal to M, therefore Um is greater than or equal to M. This is a definition of limit of a sequence diverges to plus infinity. This implies limit of Un is equal to plus infinity. Therefore, what is the limit of Un? Limit of Un nothing but U is nothing but limit inferior of Sn. This implies limit inferior of Sn is equal to plus infinity by equation number 3. By equation number 3. Now again from this one, after capital N, if I take any term, those terms of a sequence are greater than this one. If I take supremum of all, this one will be greater than or equal to this one. Also we have supremum of the set Sn such that n greater than capital N is strictly greater than capital M, because all these terms are greater than capital M, then its supremum is also greater than capital M. This implies, what is the equation number 2? This one is nothing but Vn is greater than capital M. Vn is greater than capital M. Therefore, small n greater than capital N implies we will get Vm is greater than or equal to capital M, because all those terms are greater than capital M and Vn is an decreasing sequence. If I take any term greater than, that will be less than this one and greater than capital M. This is for all n. If I take m, that one is also greater than m. If I take n plus 1, that one is also greater. All those n's are greater than this one. If I take any this one, since Vn, as we have discussed here in the definition of limit superior, if I take supremum, this will be a decreasing. Therefore the sequence is decreasing and all the terms are greater than capital M. Therefore the term is greater than or equal to capital M. Here you can write by equation number 2. This is the definition of limit of Vn is equal to plus infinity. Therefore, what is limit of Vn from equation number 4? This is nothing but limit superior of Sn is equal to plus infinity. Therefore, when I considered here limit of Sn is plus infinity, I got limit inferior is equal to plus infinity, limit superior is also equal to plus infinity. Therefore, limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit of Sn, which is equal to limit superior of Sn. All are equal to plus infinity. Now case 2. Case 2. Suppose limit of Sn is equal to minus infinity. That is, I am writing the definition of diverges to plus infinity. That is, for each capital M less than 0, there exists a capital N such that small n greater than capital N implies Sn is less than capital M. Sn is less than capital N. Then we have, after capital N, if I take any term, all those terms are less than capital M. Therefore, its infimum is also less than capital M. Then we have infimum of a set Sn where n greater than capital M is less than capital M. From equation number 1, this one is nothing but un is less than capital M. Therefore, since um is increasing and all the uns are less than m, therefore m greater than capital M implies um is less than or equal to capital M, because it is an increasing sequence. Infimums are increasing and supremum of a sets are decreasing. It is an increasing and all the n's are less than. If I take any term bigger than that one, that will be greater than or equal to this one, and near to m, that will be less than or equal to m. Therefore, this is nothing but, from the definition of diverges to minus infinity, limit of un is equal to minus infinity. But what is limit of un from equation number 3? Limit inferior of Sn is equal to minus infinity. this one I wrote by equation number 1, and this one I wrote by equation number 3. Also we have since after capital N if I take any term, all those terms are less than capital M, then capital M behaves like an upper bound. If I take a least upper bound, between least upper bound and upper bound we have that is supremum, that is least upper bound of the set, where n greater than capital N is less than or equal to any other upper bound. This is nothing but Vn is less than or equal to capital M by equation number 2. Therefore, Vn's are decreasing. Therefore, M greater than capital N implies Vm is less than or equal to M. This is the definition of nothing but diverges to minus infinity. That is limit Vn is equal to minus infinity. From the equation number 4, this one is nothing but limit superior of Sn is equal to minus infinity. Therefore, limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit of Sn is equal to limit superior of Sn. All are equal to minus infinity in this case. Now case 3. Suppose limit of Sn is equal to some real number. Case 1 we have discussed plus infinity, case 2 minus infinity. Now case 3 a real number. That is, for each epsilon greater than 0 there exists a capital N such that small n greater than capital N implies modulus of Sn minus S is less than epsilon. This implies small n greater than capital N implies, I am going to remove the modulus symbol, adding S to the inequality, we will get S minus epsilon less than Sn. Sn is less than S plus epsilon. Let us take equation number 5. Taking right inequality of equation number 5, we have for n greater than capital N implies, what is the right inequality? This one, Sn is less than S plus epsilon. What it means, after capital N if I take any term, all the terms are less than S plus epsilon, means S plus epsilon behaves like an upper bound. Then I can say that supremum of the set, that is least upper bound, where n greater than capital N is less than or equal to any other upper bound. What is this one from equation number 2? Vn is less than or equal to S plus epsilon. Since supremum of S sets are decreasing, so we will get M greater than capital N implies Vm is less than or equal to S plus epsilon. Now this implies after capital N if I take any term, all those terms are less than or equal to S plus epsilon. Means after capital N, how many capital M's are there? How many small m's are there? Infinite number. Already we have proved, for finite, except for finite number of terms, if infinite number of terms are less than or equal to b, then its limit is also less than or equal to this one. Already we have proved this one. This implies limit of Vm is less than or equal to S plus epsilon by known theorem we have already proved in the earlier sessions. If infinite number of terms, except for finite number of terms, if infinite number of terms are greater than or equal, less than or greater than or equal to a, then its limit is also greater than or equal to a. If infinite number of terms are less than or equal to b, then its limit is also less than or equal to b. What is limit of Vm? Nothing but limit superior of Sn less than or equal to S plus epsilon. Since epsilon greater than 0 is very small, since epsilon greater than 0 is very small, therefore we will get this one as we get limit superior of Sn is less than or equal to S. What is S limit of Sn? Limit of Sn. Therefore, what we got now here, limit superior of Sn is, therefore limit superior of Sn is less than or equal to limit of Sn. Equation number 6. Now taking left inequality of equation number 5, what you will get? For small n greater than capital N implies S minus epsilon is less than Sn. After capital N, if I take any term, all those terms are greater than this one. If I take infimum of this one is a lower bound, then S minus epsilon and greatest lower bound, where N greater than capital N. This is the greatest lower bound and this is the lower bound. The relation between lower bound and greatest lower bound, greatest is greater than or equal to this one. This is nothing but S minus epsilon is greater than or equal to, what is this one? From equation number 1, this is nothing but Un. Therefore, since Un are decreasing, we will get M greater than capital N implies S minus epsilon is less than or equal to Um. If infinite number of terms are greater than or equal to S minus epsilon, then its limit is also greater than or equal to this one. This implies then S minus epsilon is less than or equal to limit of Um. This implies S minus epsilon is less than or equal to limit of Um is nothing but limit inferior of Sn by equation number 3. Since epsilon greater than 0 is very small, we get S is less than or equal to limit inferior of Sn. What is S? This implies limit of Sn is less than or equal to limit inferior of Sn. Let us take this one as equation number 7. Equation number 7. Therefore, from equation number 6 and 7, from 6 and 7, we have limit superior of Sn is less than or equal to limit Sn, and limit Sn is less than or equal to limit inferior of Sn. Limit inferior of Sn. Therefore, this one we will get. This implies, let us take this one as equation number 8. Equation number 8. But we know that limit inferior of Sn is always either less than or equal to limit superior of Sn. Equation number 9. Here we say that limit superior of Sn is less than or equal to this one is less than or equal to this one, but we know that this one is less than or equal to this one. Both will hold only if all the three are equal. All the three are equal. If this one is strictly less than this one, we will get a contradiction for here. So both equation number 8 and 9 both will be hold if all the three are equal. Therefore, from 8 and 9 we have limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit of Sn, which is equal to limit superior of Sn. This is the proof of the first part of the theorem.